Previously on Breaking Point 2.
Let's make this quick.
Or maybe we could give Casper a bit of our time.
This wasn't scheduled.
What, are you too busy for us now?
Just tell them, Casper.
Andreo, please.
Can we get started?
Yeah, Aiden's got a meeting at Mercedes he needs to get to.
Enough!
If we can't pull together now...
If we can't pull together, we are finished.
Wait, what does that mean?
Andreo...
It means that if we don't finish 5th or higher, Butler Global will pull funding. And I don't think we'll find an investor to replace him. Not now.
Dad brought me onto the team and then immediately threatened to shut it down.
Congratulations, Callie. You keep going like that, you might just prove me wrong yet. Callie?
Callie, great race.
What do you mean, prove you wrong?
I was just trying to congratulate you, that's all.
You are a piece of work.
But it was a great race.
1 month later at the Italian Grand Prix, as the grid heads to Monza, fractures within the team continue to play Connor Sport. Clearly, it is getting a bit tense, a bit frosty there between Callie Mayer and her father. The pressure now that is upon the team with the top 5 goal is known, and that is adding another dynamic to this team. But we've got trouble in the garage. Reports of a confirmation that someone, that a mechanic has been bad-mouthing Callie and calling them out, and she's called them out on it, and the mechanic called her privileged and out of touch. She said she won't make it in F1 because she doesn't understand how punishing it can be. So what do we do? Do nothing or discipline this person? Well, we are a team, so I think we can't do nothing. You know, no matter what the reason you're bad-mouthing, you shouldn't bad-mouth someone in public about your own teammate. Do it in private, whatever. Just hold it to yourself, in my opinion. So we're going to have to discipline that, in my opinion.
Hey,
Guess who's on his way in?
Davidoff?
He just called the office. Arrange him a lunch, he says. He treats the office staff like his personal assistants.
He shouldn't be a drain on our resources. Look, I'll talk to him.
Can you let the garage staff know he'll be wandering around down there? And make sure we have the usual room set up for him?
Yeah, no problem.
Roll out the red carpet. Davidoff's in town. Last I heard he was joining us in Singapore, but today he just shows up.
Don't let him get to you like this. We'll handle him.
Remind me why I went into business with him?
At least you have an F1 team.
For now.
Look, he wants us to succeed.
Doesn't always feel like it, Cass. I'll see you in the meeting.
Yeah.
So Davidoff is unexpectedly turned up to Monza then, and maybe again here to just be a bit of a nuisance maybe to the Connor Sport effort, and clearly Andreo is getting a bit frustrated, even Casper agreeing that he shouldn't be a drain on our resources. So yeah, he's just turning up. I guess, you know, maybe if he's wanting them to get P5, he's just turning up to assess the progress on that P5, I guess, basically. But yeah, it looks like the relationship and people talking about Jackson leaving Connor Sport, can they carry on as teammates, etc. Has he ever even got on with a teammate? Which is pretty true, you know. Aiden, I think in this story, we've seen him, he's a bit of an arse sometimes. I mean, he does have equal parts to blame in some of these altercations with not getting on with his teammates. And we've got disharmony in the garage, apparently. So this is an update on what happened, basically, with maybe the bad-mouthing. And then we've got a Spotlight article about Aiden and Callie. This is an update from what we did earlier when we told basically Davidoff to stay away and just focus on Aiden and Callie. Apparently it was very apparent they didn't like each other in the interview, and so that didn't come off great. So that's a little bit frustrating in terms of a negative impact from that, but you just got to move on. You got to make some sort of decision, so you can't make them all right. And we now get on to another situation to deal with as a team principal. Andreo ambushed, so he was ambushed for, you know, his commitment to Formula 1, regretting into getting into Formula 1, how the team is going. I think do nothing. We don't need to apologise for Andreo's fiery outburst. We don't need to support him. We just do nothing. He's a big boy. He can deal with the press, and he can, you know, deal with it in his own time. I don't think there's any bother with that. He's his own man. He's the team owner, so let him do what he wants. But now we head to a team meeting ahead of Monza.
Everything else looks fine. It's just about that rear wing.
I don't want to sacrifice any more downforce.
It's okay, it's your call. Now, let's check the weather again in an hour.
Oh, God.
Oi, oi! Did you miss me?
No.
Hello, sis.
Hi, bro.
Jackson.
Devon.
How are you, Devon?
I am excited. Very excited to be involved again. Now, you pretend I'm not here. You carry on, please.
Involved? How?
Oh, you know, just a little bit of this, a little bit of...
Involved? How?
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Huh. And what does Andreo say to that?
He'll agree, Casper. It's fine.
Okay, no wonder he turned up to Monza.
Were they pleased to see you?
People are always pleased to see me.
And what was your new role?
I guess you might call me a liaison. Yeah, I love to liaise. Dad wanted me to talk to people, keep people's spirits up, give some friendly words of advice, that kind of thing. But it was tough. Yeah, Aiden still had that ego. Still thought he was too good for the team. Wouldn't listen to Casper's advice, that was a problem. And then Andreo, he was worried about the future of the team. He had Dad breathing down his neck. And Callie, well, let's just say Callie wasn't really looking for my advice. The whole thing was a mess. I mean, honestly, I'd only been gone 5 minutes.
It's good to have Devin Butler back, I must say, and he's on top form there. A little bit of comedy in the cutscene there as we go to mid-race now at the Italian Grand Prix. Devin Butler is back with Connor Sport with the brothers' return, certain to ruffle a few feathers at the already shaky Connor Sport. Callie focuses on the race and the continuing battle with her teammate Aiden Jackson.
The two Connor Sport teammates not exactly doing each other any favours this afternoon. For me, they're a little bit too close for comfort.
What is Aiden playing at? Tell him to back off.
Okay, Callie, he knows.
Clearly he doesn't know.
Yeah, same old stuff. Jackson really wants to make a move out there, but Maya, no chance, not letting him past.
Towards the Curva Grande we go, he's going for it. It's really close, it's too close. There goes Maya's front wing. Oh, Aiden Jackson, what happened there? This now seems like a running theme at Connor Sports.
Yes, this race is critical for them. When are they going to just pull themselves together?
Okay, box please, Callie. Let's get that wing replaced.
This is a joke.
Box this lap, please. Box this lap.
Yeah, copy.
Well, things have certainly gone very downhill. We've got no front wing. What is it with Monza and Breaking Point? We had this in Breaking Point 1, where things were always happening at Monza with Casper Ackerman and Aiden Jackson, and now it's with Callie Mayer and Aiden Jackson. We've got no front wing, so we've got to pit in and then try and recover positions in this race. It's lap 7, so it's a later pit stop. Not ideal. We're going to fall quite back, but we know we're going to have some mega pace as we have had in the recent parts of this story mode with even the hardest difficulty. This car is just absolutely on fire, it would seem, basically, or the AI just a little bit slow. So we should be able to get up towards that bonus objective of finishing ahead of Jackson. So, yeah, I mean, I think when we get to him, let's just say maybe we give him a little frosty reception if and when we catch him. But right now, we just need to get our main objective of finishing in the points, and then we'll see where Jackson is, because I don't even know where he is now at the moment in this race. But right now, catching up to Nico Hulkenberg. We strapped on this set of soft tyres, so we will be very punchy on these new softs compared to these guys who are going to be on, you know, a couple of laps old medium tyres. We look to make the double pass on Hulkenberg and Yuki Tsunoda to go round the outside before we get to Parabolica, and now chasing after Oscar Piastri and Lance Stroll in P10 up the road. I think this is actually Ocon, sorry. Stroll's P10 is the points-paying positions we're aiming for, so that's the objective. It's now Logan Sargent in the Williams, but we're going to look to try and make the double pounce. Very Daniel Ricciardo or Lewis Hamilton-esque dive bomb there down the inside at Monza here at turn 1 to get up into P11, and now clean air to chase after the points-paying positions, the main objective of today's race at the Italian GP, and then we'll see where Jackson is. So he's not on the minimap right now, so he must be at least minimum P5 then, because Norris is up there in like P8, Alonso, so maybe P6 or P5 maybe for Aiden Jackson. So we've got some work to do still as Stroll maybe gives us a little bit of squeeze. He thought about moving to the inside but didn't in the end. And now we catch up to his teammate Fernando Alonso, who's behind Lando Norris, who overtook him just a lap earlier, I think it was. We have DRS on both of them looking to make the pass on the Spaniard and then maybe even try the lunge on Lando. It was a bit tough there because I thought Alonso might have stuck on our inside and maybe made things awkward, but we're going to power pass up into P7. And like I said, there is Aiden Jackson in P6 as we catch him at a rate of knots onto lap 11. And like I said, things are going to get frosty as we're going to open up the steering wheel and shove him off wide into the gravel. Aiden Jackson hits the wall. He's in the gravel. It's a warning for collision, but the two of us have come together. It's absolute civil war, just like it was in Hungary when we took out Devon Butler playing as Aiden Jackson. It's all things must be balanced in life, so we take out Aiden Jackson here at Monza because he has been a bit of a whiny little git in recent episodes. I never thought I'd be saying that and leaning on Devon's side, but I can see why Devon finds him annoying, to be honest now, and we've taken him out here at the Italian Grand Prix, and there's going to be absolutely no repercussions for that. Thankfully, in the story mode, things are set for us. De Vries is up in P4. Mate, what are you doing here? What are you doing in P4? Shouldn't you be down like P19 as we overtake him to get into P4? Can we maybe even get on the podium here at Monza and spoil... Oh, we're going to spoil Leclerc's day. We're going to absolutely break Leclerc's heart. He's not going to be on the podium for Ferrari because on the last lap of the Grand Prix, we're neck and neck and we're going to get the move done with DRS to get up into third place. We've recovered from front wing damage and the extra pit stop up to a podium position. It is absolutely biblical scenes here at the Italian Grand Prix for Cali Mayer. It's misery for Aiden Jackson because you might have noticed we actually made him pit again after his little gravel excavation. Just a little wobble for me in the rear end, that's all it was. And we come through for the podium and a great recovery.
All right, race over. Take care of the car on the way in. So Mayer managed to pull it back in the end. But if this continues, Conesport are in real danger of sabotaging their own chances of a decent finish this season.
There is so much talent in that team, and yet they're their own worst enemy. The reason they're not making progress is each other. Ridiculous state of affairs.
And it's clear that Jackson continues to be the aggressor. Is it personal, Natalie?
Well, you know, it does seem that way from the outside looking in, but all I know is they just can't go on like this. Now, once again, another eventful race out there today for Conesport, Kelly. Is the team sabotaging its own chance of a decent finish this season?
Gotta go with the PR answer here. We can't go with anything else, but no comment.
Punditry is your job, Natalie. No, I am not here to comment on those kind of narratives. I will stick to driving the car, thank you.
Everyone is talking about Devon's return to Conesport today, so is it good to have him back around again?
Well, Callie is Devon's sister, so there are quite a few answers that are actually okay. We don't have the one on lock that says, never tell him I said this, but I don't mind having him around. I don't think that will be on brand, but maybe saying he means well, but he's not the easiest person to be around. That's the nice way of saying he's a dick to be around, and he doesn't mean well.
Devon always means well. He just doesn't always have a let's call it a net positive influence on those around him, but he's here because he cares about the sport and he cares about the team.
Well, look, I'm loath to ask how bad your relationship is between you and Aiden, but there's been more contact today, so just enlighten us.
We could say it's not great, but I think for the good of the team, they've had a lot of pressure about this relationship. Let's just say it's fine. Just play it down.
Oh, it's actually fine. People love to speculate and quotes get taken out of context, but there's no problem at all between me and Aiden. I mean, nobody's ever happy when they get in a scrape on track, but to say there's any kind of issue between us is nonsense.
Now, in the past, you've refused to acknowledge the role of your father in getting your current seat at Conesport. Why is that?
Now, we messed up in a previous interview about this and saying we're here because we can drive. Obviously, you know, Callie has to maybe accept a little bit of the privilege she does have having the father there funding the team, even though she didn't directly get it because of that. But for her, she won't want to talk about it. So in line with that, let's go with no comment. We're not going to say anything stupid, but we're also not going to comment on it because we don't want to talk about the situation.
Okay, I'm not taking any more questions about my father. Ask him about his involvement.
Well, thank you for chatting with us. Great to have your time.
And I think we did a lot better in those interview questions in terms of towing the PR line and doing the best we can for the team. And we go now to post-race of the Italian Grand Prix. The Connosport teammates continue to shoot themselves in the foot, with Mayer and Jackson getting into another on-track tussle at the Italian Grand Prix. Fortunately, Cali manages to turn it around and finish within the points. But it's clear to all that Connosport's problems aren't going away anytime soon.
Go on then, let's have it.
That's no way to answer the phone. Media training rule number 1.
Say your piece, mother dearest.
Fine if you want to be like that. You have a problem confronting issues, you'd be better off dealing with them and moving on. There, I said it.
Have you been talking to my therapist?
No, but I'm serious, darling. The more you ignore these questions from the media, the more they'll haunt you.
It's none of their business.
But that's where you're wrong, darling. It's quite literally their business. It's how they make their living.
Whose side are you on here?
Look, I'm trying to help you manage the situation. I know it's not easy.
Yeah, you're certainly right about that.
Anyway, forgive me for sticking my nose in again. I'll let you go, Cal. Ciao.
Hey, Andrew.
Callie, we're so grateful for you smoothing things over in the press with Aiden.
It's for the best, right?
It's better for morale, yes? We can focus on what we need to do. The team functions better.
Well, please that could help.
Some people are not so comfortable with misleading in this way, but we do what needs to be done, yes?
Whatever it takes.
Good. Good. You are Connosport through and through. Thanks, Callie.
So some interesting phone calls from our mum and Andreo. So Evelyn said talked directly about us having no comment, and she thinks we need to eventually address the issues with our father. And then with Andreo, that was a positive one. He thanked us for, saying there's no problem between Callie and Aiden, which was the right way to go. So I'm good we could please Andreo and kind of keep the pressure off there a little bit. But clearly, on the other side of things, with the family side, it's been talked about in the media as well. But at the same time, people are also agreeing. Why should she have so many questions aimed at her? That was one of the things from the interview question we gave. But we're going to move that aside as we move on to the next chapter, in chapter 15, several weeks later at the Singapore Grand Prix, with their dysfunction clear for all to see, and with only a handful of races now left in the 2023 season, Connosport look like a team on the ropes as they head to Singapore. Oh, that is never a good sign as a chapter description. Oh no.
Slacking off? Hey.
Ooh. Scared the life out of me, mate.
I didn't mean to. Picking up any tips?
I don't think they like the short straights here.
You didn't mind them, did you?
I love this track. Always do well here. Well, used to.
How are you doing, Devon?
Me? Golden, mate. Loving life.
Yeah, sure.
You know what it's like to leave all this behind, don't you?
It's the most difficult thing I've ever done.
Yeah, well, like that. But, I didn't choose this, Casper. I didn't.
I know.
You came back, right? How's it treating you?
Ups and downs.
How's our old teammate doing?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think he's happy here.
He still thinks he belongs in that top team, see? He's never let it go. That's the problem. You know, I could have a word with him. I mean, if you think that might help.
It's all a bit delicate.
Yeah. Oh, I understand.
No, Devon, I mean it.
Yeah? Scouts on him, mate.
Oh, Devon's come back on form, He's actually quite comical now, and I'm here for it. He's not, he can't do anything driving-wise, so he may as well just be a bit of a court jester in the team and mix it up. So I'm actually liking this new version of Devon who's back and actually willing maybe to mix it up a little bit and maybe even help the team, because to be fair, maybe a chat with Aiden would help things. I don't know. I mean, in his own kind of unique Devon way, but we've got trouble in the garage. So an anonymous source has said that they've talked in the press about Callie's must not be criticised. So this is in response maybe to us disciplining that person. So I'm going to play it cautious now because we need to do damage control. And then we've got Devon Butler, professional motivator. This will affect the bonus objective. Devon's just been in. He said the two had a little chat and you both agree Aiden needs a bit of extra motivation. Is that true? We can either decline or agree. I'm going to say agree. Go ahead. Have a chat with him. We'll get an extra objective in the race. Maybe because we're driving as Aiden now, I assume that means. But I'd like to see what a chat with Aiden looks like from Devon's perspective in terms of trying to help out. So go ahead. And in terms of the Andreo ambush, it was the correct decision to let him do his own thing. He handled it well and he showed the passion for the team and he came across really well. Job done. Easy stuff.
Andreo.
Did you read his email?
I glanced at it.
He's a sly old fox at that one. Thank you for finding a place for Devon, as if we had a choice, Casper. As if it was our decision.
Yeah, I know.
How's it going with Devon anyway?
Yeah, he's still struggling. But he does really care about the team, so, maybe it'll work out.
Well, that's something at least.
Rather him than his father, right?
Rather neither of them, Casper. Anyway, I'll see you.
Yeah, see you.
Did Casper really want you to talk to Aiden?
I read between the lines. Look, Casper's good at lots of things, but I know people. Yeah, I know how to get in their heads. And I wanted to help Dad, help the team, so,
Leave me alone.
Listen, I'm just saying, mate, if you were such an incredible driver, you wouldn't be a constable, would you? Sorry, it's the truth. No offense.
Well, maybe I won't be here next season.
Oh, dude. You know what your problem is?
Yeah. You.
You think you're better than the team. I remember when Aiden Jackson was just happy to be behind the wheel of an F1 car. We all liked that guy far better than this one.
You never liked me.
No. But Casper did. Once upon a time. Now you're different now. You think you're too good for the team. Your head's stuck in some imaginary big three-seat in cloud cuckoo land, mate. No. You have got to drive the car you're in.
You're lecturing me about ego.
A subject I know well.
Oh, right. I get it. So you're allowed to be cocky, but I'm not. Is that it?
There's a difference.
How can there possibly be a difference?
This isn't you. This isn't you, mate.
Oh, get lost. Be true to myself. Drive the car I'm in. The wisdom of Devon Butler. Should I be living my best life too?
Just drive the car you're in, mate, yeah? Ciao.
You know what? In a weird, funny way, Devon actually... I think that was actually quite a good chat. I think he was actually saying some real hard truths to Aiden. That might just work out as motivation as we go to race day at Singapore, with Devon's words still repeating in his head. A focused and determined Aiden Jackson looks to return to form.
Marina Bay hosted a Grand Prix that briefly ran in the 60s and 70s, but the Garden City re-entered the calendar for good in 2008. We missed it for a couple of years, but it was great to come back to the Singapore Grand Prix. Well, it's a beautiful night here at the Marina Bay circuit, and as ever, a really enthralling Singapore Grand Prix ahead of us.
That's right, Crofty. And while there's not many surprises at the top of the standings right now, there's a lot to watch out for further down the pack.
One driver I'll be definitely keeping my eye on is Connor Sports' Aiden Jackson. He's been less than consistent so far this season.
But we're going to try and change that, Crofty, as we go to 5 red lights here at the Singapore Grand Prix. 15 laps ahead of us, lights out, and away we go. Our main objective to finish in the top 5. Our bonus objective, because of our chat with Devon Butler, to finish up in the top 3. We're going to try and do even one better and maybe try and go for this race win from down in what was around P14 to 15, already trying to get up to P12, having a side-by-side moment with Callie Mayer. No issues with her and no incidents incident, but we are getting stuck behind Norris and Ocon, familiar names from our My Team Career Mode series. Can we power past them with a lot of battery use down this straight, getting through on the inside of Ocon and looking to try and set the move up on Lando, but getting boxed in actually by the two drivers. Bit of contact with Ocon, massive slide of oversteer, and in the end we only have to settle for P11. Can't quite get the P10 for Lando Norris, but that will come eventually as we come through where the Singapore sling used to be, and then over the bridge down to the hairpin on the inside and catch Lando napping and up into P10, and we'll do the same to Zhou Guan Yu and get up into P9. Fernando Alonso next on our radar down the inside at turn 1, making fantastic progress, giving us the vibes very much of what we did at the Spanish Grand Prix, if you remember, in this story mode earlier on in this 2023 season, where, you know, Devon obviously had, you know, gone away. We had the reserve driver in the second car, and we went out there, just pushed as hard as we could, and we ended up, you know, winning the Spanish Grand Prix with quite a few laps of just really nothing happening when we got into first place. So getting the same vibes here, that we can maybe hopefully get into first early on and then control the race from there. And it'll be job done as we get Piastri easily, and then we catch up to Leclerc stuck behind Sergio Perez. He is the main objective in terms of the top 5 we want, and then P3 is going to be, I think, the other Ferrari of Carlos Sainz, who is in P3 at the moment in a Mercedes sandwich, as we get Leclerc on the inside. DRS open to close us up to Perez, and we close up at the hairpin for the second bite of the cherry, the second DRS in Sector 2. Battery use as well. Perez has DRS off Verstappen, so we need the extra battery to push us along on the outside to get up into the top 5. And we're only at lap 3, so we've got plenty of time to get this bonus objective done, even if there is a bit of pace in the cars ahead of us. Verstappen's up next, P4, DRS open. We now don't have as much ERS to use, but we could just have the DRS overtake done fair and square here as we lunge it round, roll the car through, really get on the curb there that unsettled it, so we have to finish off the move in the next corner and get the elbows out in first gear to get up into 4th place. And now we set our sights on Russell with the star icon above his head. That's the bonus. Then we've got Sainz in second, and Lewis Hamilton leads the way at the Singapore Grand Prix for the race win, as we are going to send it very aggressively on Russell, determined as ever by those words of Devon Butler. Just drive the car you're in. Well, the car we're in on the hard mode on Breaking Point 2 is pretty damn amazing, so I guess we will drive the car we're in and drive it to P1 maybe, as we overtake Carlos Sainz on the outside with DRS. Lap 5 here, so we're a third of the way through the Grand Prix and we're up into P2, so absolutely stonking progress, and P1 is definitely on the cards, I feel. But Hamilton may put up a bit of a fight. We've got a little bit of tyre wear on these soft tyres now, to be honest, so that's going to be a little bit of a niggle, but we've got DRS. He's going to be a sitting duck, but he's also going to go defensive, Hamilton is. We go around the outside, we try and switch it from left to right, do the dummy. We didn't have too much ERS to use to help us out. We will try and get him on the exit here with a bit of battery use to help us out. Lewis really puts up a fight. Hamilton round the outside squeezes us in and parks it on the next apex. So Hamilton does actually put up a proper fight for this race win in this Singapore Grand Prix. Thankfully, a bit good to see, you know. It's good to see some of the AI actually putting up a bit of a fight in the story mode here, as we now have a second chance to overtake Hamilton. This time, it's on the main DRS straight, so we're just going to be patient here. Easy does it through the right-hander. Get the exit, plant the power, DRS open, and battery being deployed, getting to the inside. Hamilton with the squeeze, but we keep our foot in. We're not scared off the road. We get to the inside line, slight lock-up, but we are going to hold it in P1, and we're going to hold this P1 for the entire rest of the race, and we're going to come through to the last lap of the Grand Prix. Having had that chat with Devon Butler, we have done absolute miracle work by winning this next race, winning the Singapore Grand Prix with Aiden Jackson. That is massive for him as a driver, and massive for the team as well, and I guess is redeeming for Devon.
Well, the results are in. There we have it. What a race that was.
The sheer grit and determination shown by some of the drivers out there today, Crofty, was nothing short of incredible.
Elbows out, especially from Aiden Jackson. Loved his race today, and he finally delivered the sort of performance that we know that he's capable of. So whatever they're saying to him over at Connor Sport, he seems to be listening to.
Now, Aiden, you have had your ups and downs this season, but tell me, on the whole, are you pleased with your overall performance?
I'm going to go with no, because today's performance should be the normal. You know, that should be the base level. You know, there's no use having this sort of thing and then just, like, dropping off. And he can't say, yeah, I've given it my all season, because he hasn't. Aiden's been a bit piss poor in a couple of these races. So let's go with no. Today's performance should be the normal for me.
Today's race should be a normality, not an exception. You know, if I can get a few more performances like today, then, yeah, I'll be much happier.
Okay, I'm going to be cheeky, go straight for the jugular. If you had to choose a teammate between Callie and Devon, who would it be?
I'm getting into trouble whatever I say here, aren't I? Can I have Casper back as a teammate instead? I'll talk him out of retirement.
Now, Aiden, you have recently hinted that you're not entirely happy at Connor Sport. Tell me, is it true?
Gonna go with the PR answer of, it's irrelevant, I've got a job to do. Because I would have said Connor Sport my family, but that's not really true. We've seen that he's not really loving the team. So let's just say it's irrelevant, his happiness. Just got to actually do the job that we've given.
My happiness is neither here nor there right now. I've got a job to do this season, and I want to do it the best I can.
There's been wild speculation on whether or not Connor Sport can even be on the grid next season. So can you tell us more?
That's a question for the investors. That's not for me, that's not for Aiden, that's not for any of the drivers, it's for investors.
That seems like a question for the investors, but no one's funding Connor Sport as a charity. They're funding it as a business. And if a business isn't successful, then there's definitely an issue.
That's great, thank you.
Hi, Davidoff.
Aiden, quite the answer you gave today. I didn't have you pegged as a man of business.
Yeah, I didn't really think anything of it. Of course you need to make money.
Don't we all, Aiden?
Yeah, but Connor Sport must be profitable, right?
We're still running the projections for next season.
So it's not certain then?
Time will tell. You said it yourself, it's just business. Thanks, Aiden.
Well, Davidoff there, being as cold as ever. It's just business. It always is just business. But, yeah, no, I mean, at least he was a little bit happy about the answer, about us being awareful of that. But we've got Brian emailing us about, well, he just can't get away from commenting on the Butlers. Can't get away from the Butlers, He can't believe Devon's back. And he just wants to say he's seen the GP from the Maldives, dodgy Wi-Fi in the hotel. He's just once again saying that he's on holiday, basically. Great stuff. And then Devon has emailed us going, Casper's talking about your interview today. If I were you, I'd avoid him for a while unless you want another round of media training foisted on you. Not bad out there today, by the way. You keep listening to your old pal Devon, and who knows what you might accomplish. Absolute kit. He's taken all the plaudits, but to be fair, the chat was needed. I think it was actually a pretty good chat from Devon, and he's actually got a knack for that, to be fair. He was saying some hard truths, which is what you need sometimes in this kind of thing. So with that, things might be turning a slight corner, you never know, actually, in terms of Aiden improving now, being motivated again. Maybe Devon is actually useful to have around, but the only sticking problem is Callie definitely doesn't like having him around, and their father is still an issue in the team. And can they get that P5? Well, we're going to find out next part, because I think next part might be the final one of the entire story mode series here on this channel, guys. So if you have enjoyed this one, hit the like button, let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you're around here, then do get subscribed for that next and final part of Breaking Point 2. Till then, hope you enjoyed today. Goodbye.